Hello, today I wanted to show how one could edit path sector map from Dawn of War map. Probably in probably it will work for all for maps for all expansions. But I'll take a map from Soulstorm uh, expansion. Now, what do I mean by path sector map? To view this, we need the advanced map editor and a map to open. I've already extracted one of them and I've put it in the Dark Crusade folder, as you can see, because advanced map editor gives you a lot of possibilities, but I think it's best used mm, uh, in symbiosis, let's say, with Dark Crusade map editor. As you may know, Soulstorm expansion didn't release many tools for it, and Mission Editor was one of them. The map I'm talking about is this one. It's called Tiborax. And the path sector I'm talking about can be viewed in Advanced Map Editor. About like that. You can see that map is divided into sectors, here outlined in green, and these sectors are used, I presume, I haven't checked the code for Soulstorm game, but I presume these sectors are used to calculate how units move on a map. So, for example, if a unit has to go from point A to point B, it doesn't go from tile to tile, but rather from sector to sector. And then when the unit is in the same sector as its go-to point, only then it will calculate this path on a tile per tile basis. I presume this is the case, but I'm not 100% sure. So, what would I want to edit? For example, I would like to cut this small sector out here to show to better show what I mean. I will show sector numbers, and let's hide all of the other things on the map. Alright, now I want to cut this small sector around here that's made of these 5/8, and I want to combine this with this larger sector, for example. The Advanced Mission Editor only allows you to view these path sectors, but how can you edit them? Well, for that you would need hex editor, so it will be some low-level editing, you could say, and you would need a graphical program, Photoshop, or for example, I'm using GIMP. Where to start? Maybe I'll start with GIMP, because I want to edit this path sector map in a graphical way. For that, I will need some info about the map in question. Alright, let's then open this map in hex editor. Nevertheless, it's back and forth, sorta back and forth. And the map we're talking about is this one, as SGB file. Um, TGA is a overall texture that's layered on the map. Alright, we have this SGB file opened in hex editor. What do we want to find here? We want to find here a path sector map. There is a pathfinding information in every map from Soulstorm expansion at least. And the second one is the path sector map, which we want to edit. Alright, how is this file constructed? How is this map constructed? It consists of 4 bytes that denote width of the map in little endian format. So the least important byte is at the end. And in calculator, why not use some of those at the moment? We can decipher what the width of the map is. All in hex editor, all values are in hex format. So 80 in hex format means 128 in decimal format. So width of our map is 128 tiles. And in the hex editor we can see 4 tiles, 4 bytes, 4 bytes that will denote the height of the map. In this case, this map is square, so the width and height are the same, but if you have sort of wider map, then it may vary. So this path sector has 128 tiles per 128 tiles. What's important to note that there are also 4 tiles of unknown origin that don't count towards the path sector map area. So these 4 bytes are not a part of the path sector map. Only here starts our path sector map. So it's 12 bytes after this name. After this name that's written in standard English letters. So that's where path sector map really begins. Now, path sector map is written in 2 bytes per tile format. So these 2 bytes mean the sector map of the first tile. That's here. And we can see there are 3 ones in here. Or no. This is the 2. That's interesting. Alright. There it is. It's from the bottom left corner. So 1 it's for this tile, and then in line by line. So 5 2s, 5 times 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, and so on. Of course, editing it in by number is a bit cumbersome, so we'll do it in graphical format. All right. Now we know how big is our map. It's 128 per 128 tiles, so we can multiply them, and every tile is written in 2 bytes, so multiplied by 2, and this number in hex format means how much data is written on this path sector map. How much does it span? Alright, with that information in mind, so 128 by 128 tiles, we can prepare an image in GIMP. It will be in pixels, 128 times 128. So a simple map in GIMP, bitmap, and 128 by 128 pixels. This map will save in here. Well, in theory you could save it anywhere, but I wanted to make it in one place. Alright, I'll save it as XCF and then I'll export it as BMP. Let's name it path sectors. XCF is not really needed. It may be needed if you want to combine this path sector map with some other image that can be also produced, for example, in the old mission editor. What's important, saving as BMP, is to save it in 16 bits format. 16 bits. That would mean 2 bytes per pixel. That's what we want, 2 bytes per pixel, so 16 bits. And then export it. Alright, this will create a file around here in BMP format, which we can also open in hex editor. And here we can see where all the tiles are saved, are written in a 2 byte per pixel format. And that's exactly what we have in this path sector map in SGB file, in our map file. As I've already counted, that's the number of bytes that we have to select with shift. That's the number of bytes we have to select. Yes, so 8 and 3 zeros. That's how much. That's how many bytes consists this path sector map, and we can copy it from the map from our mission and paste it in a BMP file, overwriting all the values that are in it. I've overwritten all the values in a BMP map with those values from SGB file, and I will save it. And this will give me, instead of this white image that you can see here, it will give me an image that will be our path sector map. That's the path sector map imported into BMP file. That's how it looks. We can, for example, take a look at this one, and they're exactly the same. They're made by copying, so they're exactly the same. What I wanted to do is to edit this part of the map, so remove this small chunk, and that will be around this part here. That's it. I'll close up, and there are these 6 tiles that I want to edit. I want to change their sector alignment. What I will do now is I will simply gather color of the tile that I want to overwrite it with. So, for example, this one. And here you can see the values in RGB format. You can, for example, not from 0 to 100, but from 0 to 255. It's easier to read. But it doesn't really matter for the safe part. Alright, so I've gathered this color, and now I can use a tool to um, to paint this color where I want it to. And for example, I'll use this tool that's called pencil, and I'll paint it like so. This tile in the bottom is also another sector. I can include it also. That's a bit different sector than previous ones. It's quite easy to see, but it's also different than the color that I have now. So 8 and 181, and this one is 8 189, not 81. So this is a different sector. I can also include it like so, but one has to know which color you have selected at the moment. So that's how I've edited this path sector. I've removed this part here along with this 1 pixel, and connected it into one sector. What will I do now with this path sector map? I will export it. I will save it as path sectors BMP. I will overwrite it. And one more thing is we must always watch at this advanced settings. We have to save it as 16 bits in this format we've chosen earlier. So R5G6B5 format, and then we export. That way, we have I've overwritten this file. So in path sectors, in this place, in this map around here, there will be some changes, and now I want those changes to be included in the SGB file that I have earlier. For that, I will select all of the pixels in BMP map. I will copy them, and I will paste them into the SGB map. I already have it selected, but it's the same principle as before. So it has a set amount of bytes. So if you start from the path sector map, you will go 12 bytes, right? And there is your start of the path sector map, and you have to select exact amount. So in this case, it's 8 and 3 zeros bytes, and then you can paste. You can paste this and save this new SGB map. Now it would be nice to see some changes around here. That's this part. So I'll open this map once more, and this map that I open should have those changes included already. Let's check this path sector map, and what you can see here is the exact same thing I've done in GIMP. So I've removed these 6 tiles. I've connected these tiles into one big, and you can see in terrain preferences, when I show sector numbers, that 5.8 and 5.7 that were here before are no longer present. So that means that our path sector map has been modified. Alright, that's all. I hope it may be useful, and take care.